Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2025 NCAA Division III Outdoor Track and Field Championship Press Conference. Our schedule for today will allow for a Q&A with a select group of coaches, followed by a Q&A with a select group of student athletes. For any media members asking questions, please state your name and affiliation before asking your question. Also, a friendly reminder to please keep the scope of the questions focused on this season and the upcoming championship. Joining us today is Jordan Bartolozzi, head men's and women's cross country and track and field coach in his final season at Elmhurst University before he heads to Hope College next year. Lane Lohr in his 18th year as an assistant at Washington University in St. Louis. Lane has 5 vaulters in the meet this year between the men and the women. And our final coach is Norm Tate in his 17th season as an assistant coach at Rowan University and the leader of Hurdle U. We will start off by allowing our coaches to give an opening statement about their season and how they're feeling entering the championship meet. Then we will open it up to questions. We'll start with Jordan.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's great to be here. I'm so thrilled about being here with our group. So some folks know this, but I was privileged to lead our group this year to our first indoor conference championship ever and our first outdoor conference championship ever. A journey that we feel like we started 8 years ago with 4 women on the team to now being where we are on top of the conference for the first time in school history. Thrilled to be here with 7 athletes from our program, all representing women's sprints and jumps, and looking forward to a fun weekend ahead.
Lane.
Hi. Good afternoon, evening. I don't know what time of the day it is really anymore. I'm Norm Tate, assistant coach at Rowan University, and I guess most of y'all know they picked up this nickname Hurdle U. I don't know if that's the truth or not. We'll know after this weekend. But it's been an honor for me. As a coach, I'm not about awards and stuff. So when I got, coach of the year, assistant coach of the year indoors, and then they turned around and I got it again outdoors. It's, really an honor that, that's voted on, by my peers. That means a lot to me. But this year has been really a great one as far as, my group, the hurdle group, and our 4x4, I do, sprinters and hurdlers. We scored all the points at the Indoor Nationals, got third and made the podium. Hopefully we'll be able to do the same, the next 3 days. I have a 4x4 in, I have a 4x1 that's one of the favorites, and I have 4 hurdlers that all 4 should make the final and score some points. So hopefully we can make the podium again.
Lane.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lane Lohr. I'm part-time pole vault coach at WashU now. I was at WashU full-time for 15 years, and I've been a part-time coach for 3. I know if I had a vote for assistant coach of the year, it'd be Coach Tate, because when I was full-time, I had hurdlers that always seemed to look at his hurdlers' backs. But we've got 5 pole vaulters here, 4 men and 3 women, or 1 woman, and we're looking really forward to a good weekend. It's really nice to have a pole vault practice where our standards have a 4-foot gap between the top pin and the bottom pin, and the bars on 17 and 13 all day. And that's what we're hoping to do this weekend, and keep it going like we've been going all year. We're really happy to be here.
Thank you, coaches. A couple of opening questions here. Jordan, you referenced this in your opening statement, going from where you were in 2017 when you took over the program, scoring 8 points at conference and finishing dead last. This year, your women won CCIW indoor and outdoor titles for the first time. What has been that process like over the course of 8 years? What has gone into it?
So much fun has gone into it first. We've just had a blast getting to see this program get built from the ground up. I will credit the women that we inherited 8 years ago. There was very few of them, but they wanted to be good and they did anything that we asked them to do. And so I never want to forget those. Even when we got dead last, that group of women wanted our program to be successful and was willing to help establish a strong team culture. To do it this year, though, with this group of seniors and even fifth years, like Lauren Marshall, who made a decision to come back to help us win a conference championship, it's so special. It's the people that have bought in and been part of this journey from the get go that have made it what it has been for us.
Next question is for Lane. You mentioned five vaulters for WashU this year, between the men and the women. What do you feel makes your squad so consistent in the pole vault?
A lot of it comes from the young lady right in front of you, Yasmin Ruff. Yasmin, after indoor her sophomore year, she said, "I really want to be good," and she took that to heart. She practices at a really high level, and she's won the indoor title this year. She won the outdoor title last year. She maybe has been beaten by a D3 athlete half a dozen times in the last 3 years. But she practices at a real high level, so the guys get to see that. Our practice schedules are set based upon their academic workload. There's no men's practice and women's practice, so they come out there and see her practice at a high level, and that's the model for what it takes to be a national champion. And they want to be one as well. And this year they've kind of morphed into that. They're finishing, high jumps the bar stays up at 17 feet at our practice a lot, and so that's a fun environment. So they're competitive, and every day at our practice is like a track meet.
Norm, you referenced this in your opening statement. 27 points in the hurdles alone at indoors, along with a few points in the 4x4, got you on the podium in third. How have you been able to produce such high-level hurdlers year after year?
First of all, I wasn't a hurdler, but my college coach was Coach Lee Calhoun to 2 Olympic Games. I learned a lot from Dr. Walker. And when I started coaching, I just started to do the things that I had learned from him. I also had the opportunity to be coached for a couple of summers by Wilbur Ross, who wrote the Hurdler's Bible. And the rest is me. I had the opportunity to coach Jack Pierce, who was bronze medalist in Barcelona. I coached Jack for 9 years, and we went from 1328 to 1294. I just feel that my eye is my camera when I coach hurdlers. I just look. I don't need a video. I've just been doing it so long. I think about it, where I came from, and we was talking about it today, 62 years ago, next week, I won the NCAA University Division and College Division triple jump. So the NCAAs has like been, a big thing for me, and for my athletes to come and be NCAA champions. I knew what it was like to be NCAA champion. Back then they didn't even give the trophy; they gave the medals. But I got a basket full of those at home, and every time I look at those, I think about these guys standing on the podium receiving those trophies. As Coach said here, our practices are very competitive. They always have been. This year, more fortunate than others, where I had 4 young men. Even last year, our practice was like a war. Even in the sprints, I got like seven sprinters all trying to make one 4x1 and 4x4. I got 4 hurdlers that all of them try to go. So it makes practice fun. I have to separate them sometimes because it's they want to fight each other on occasion as to who's the best. I had an outstanding freshman that broke the indoor record. He turned around and broke the outdoor record, but I didn't pick him as a favorite indoors. The person that won it was the favorite that I picked, Jason. I just thought it was his time. I'm not going to make any predictions this week. I don't like to make them beforehand, but I'm looking forward to going, and this is not like I'm bragging. I'm looking forward to the possibility of going 1, 2, 3. I'd like to see it done. I don't think it's been done by any school to go 1, 2, 3 in that event. But I think that this group here can do it, and it may be the last time that I have a group like this. You never know. I've had 5 4x4 championships since I've been there. I've had, you know, D3 records and stuff, but this group here has really been fun because they go to meets expecting to win the meets just by themselves, and so it makes them very competitive, and hopefully we can make the podium again, based on what they do.
Thank you, coaches. We will now open it up for questions from the group. Please remember to state your name and affiliation before your question.
Hello, Stu Newstat, D3 Glory Days. Jordan, this question is for you. You obviously had a huge impact transfer in Alyssa Busker, running some huge times for you, helping the relay.
Yeah.
But from a culture standpoint, how do you get a star like that and make sure she feels included and welcome to the team?
Yeah, Alyssa doesn't want anything to be about Alyssa, which helps, right? Like to you all, Alyssa Busker is a very cool story. We agree it's a cool story, but for us, she feels like part of our team that's been here from the beginning. So like Tyler Sheehan he's our sprints coach, has done an absolutely outstanding job with this group across the board. The entire top 10 list at Elmhurst has been fully rewritten in the last few years. So I think that is a group that already had just fantastic chemistry and culture. And then you add an athlete like Alyssa, who wants to be really good and believes that she is very good, but doesn't do it in a way where she wants it to be about her. And so it felt like just a perfect mix when you add this phenomenal team chemistry that already exists. They already want to work hard together. And then you add a top-end talent who's really here to enjoy the sport of track and field for one more year while she has the eligibility to do so. And it's worked out as better than we could have hoped for. Yeah.
Noah, D3 Glory Days. Coach Tate, you described the Rowan hurdle practices like a war. We spoke to Jameer earlier. He echoed that. That competitiveness is something that it's hard to do every day, right? You have to kind of bottle it up and bring it out when it's most needed. So as a coach, how do you manage, keeping things in check at practice and making sure that the competitiveness really comes out at the national meet?
They're pretty disciplined. On days that we do hurdles, sometimes I have to separate some of the individuals. Like when Jameer, after Jameer set the indoor record first meet, I found that I had to separate him and Quay. Quay started pressing, trying too hard, trying to keep up or run with. And so I had to learn who to put together on different days and stuff. Now it doesn't appear to be a problem, but then I did have to. But usually I don't have to. So sometimes I run all four of them together on the track. But initially, after Jameer, ran so fast the first meet, it kind of, overwhelmed because they were the older guys, and we knew he was going to be good. We didn't know he was going to be that good that fast, and I don't think the kids knew. It sort of surprised them. So it took some getting used to. But now, like I said, I mean, they've beat up on each other in various meets. And what I like about them now is that whoever wins, the other ones are all happy and join together and congratulate them and stuff. So it's been easy. My grandfather used to tell me you need chicken to make chicken salad, and you need athletes to be able to be considered a good coach. And I have a very athletic group. They run anything. Quay runs. He doesn't. I mean, not Quay. Jason runs 400 hurdles. We don't ever train for 400 hurdles. Put him in. He ran 52 points. I have Marquise when he was running. Marquise was my leadoff man on the 4x4. Run 47.9 last year. Never trained to be a 400 runner. but it's hard. You know, if I say, listen, this is what I need, somebody always steps up. And that's what I like about this group. They don't, you know, argue back with me. They just go ahead and attempt it. You know, I always say, never say the word can't. You know, just do. You know, Nike says, "What? Just do it." That's what they do. They just do it.
Last question over here for Coach Lane. We had the opportunity to speak with Yasmin prior to the competition. She mentioned, and you alluded to it too, that after her sophomore year, she turned it up a notch after some subpar, in her words, performances at the national meet. But what was your role in helping her switch that mentality and physicality in terms of where she is now?
I think just probably the biggest part was to get her to believe in herself, and let her understand what it really took to practice at a high level. There's the physical side of training where you for a pole vaulter, you got to get stronger, you got to get faster. But the most important practices are the pole vault practices, and you have to finish jumps at high bars. We don't have a bungee on our campus. We put the bar up every time, and and you're trying to leave the bar up in practice. And in my opinion, that's how you get better. And she just bought in, and she had confidence in me, and I had confidence in her, and that grew to be able to push her in practice. And then when the guys came in, and they all decided they wanted her to be good, I'm like, your role model's right there, guys. She just won the last 2 national championships. You see what she does every single day, and you have to do that as well. And our 4 guys that are here, they do go to war, and a different one has, they've all 4 at least won 1 meet this year, but as Coach Tate said, they're to the point now where they're building off of each other, and when they all 4 get on a roll, there's a lot of good things that are possible.
Coaches, thank you for your time today. We'll take a quick break as we bring up our first group of student athletes. Good afternoon. Welcome to the 2025 NCAA Division III Outdoor Track and Field Championship Press Conference. This portion of our press conference will feature 4 of our female student athletes looking to win championships this weekend. We will start by introducing our student athletes and allowing them to give an opening statement about their season thus far and how they're feeling heading into competition this weekend. We will follow with a short Q&A from members of the media. Any media members asking questions, please remember to state your name and affiliation before asking your question. Also, please keep the scope of the questions focused on this season and the upcoming championship. Student athletes joining us today from left to right. Yasmin Ruff, a pole vaulter from Washington University in St. Louis. Yasmin is a 2-time NCAA women's pole vault champion. She's looking for her 3rd title. Next to her is Nikki Boone, a heptathlete from Emory University. Nikki won the pentathlon in Rochester indoors this March and set the Division III heptathlon record earlier this season. Next to her, we have Penelope Green from SUNY Geneseo. Green comes into the championships as the top seed in both the women's 5K and 10K. And finally, on the far right, we have Allie Wildsmith, a high jumper from the United States Coast Guard Academy. Ladies, if you could please give an opening statement about your season and how you're feeling entering the championship meet. Start with Yasmin.
Hi, thank you so much for having me here today. I'm really excited to be here. This is about to be my last collegiate meet ever, probably maybe the last time I ever pole vault. So I'm really excited to go in there and just, try to jump as high as I can. The season has been pretty good. I, set our WashU record, which I've been, trying to get for the past 4 years. So that was really awesome. And at this point, I'm going for that 3rd title, and I'm also just trying to jump as high as I possibly can, which I think I still got some more in me. So I'm excited for this weekend.
Nikki?
Also, thanks for having me. I think this year and this indoor and outdoor season have just been really, really great. Coming off internationals, being able to break the HEP record outdoors as well. Just trying to carry through the momentum that I've had so far into this nationals as well and see if I can, pull out another performance. I'm just really excited to see all the HEP girls again, and hopefully we'll have a great 2 days.
Penelope.
Hi, Hi, thank you for having me. This season so far has been pretty good. I'm just trying to have fun with everything, and especially these next 3 days. I'm excited to see what I can do, and I feel pretty good. I'm just having fun with all of my teammates and just soaking it all in because, yeah, like Yasmin said, it's my last collegiate meet. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited.
Allie.
Yeah, I've had a really great season, honestly. This season I learned like competing every other meet works really great. So I've taken a lot of time off and I'm really excited to come out and jump. The weather doesn't look too great, which isn't awesome for high jump. But, hopefully going out to break some sort of record, whether it's my outdoor record or something greater, that would be awesome. But I'm really just hoping to jump high.
Start off with a general question for the group. What have you learned from previous championships that you will put into use this year? Yasmin.
Okay. I think what I learned is to kind of keep my process the same, no matter that, like, this is the national championship meet, but the process should be the same as just kind of any other meet that I like compete at just like regularly. I think usually I don't take jumps the day before the meet, and I just like to do that the same way the day before the national meet. So just, yeah, like I said, keeping the process the same.
Nikki?
Have fun. Be confident in myself and what I've been working for. I mean, I think any of us have put in this amount of work for it to end up in nothing. So trust ourselves, relax, have fun, enjoy being surrounded by all these amazing athletes and see the great performances and kind of take that energy and put it into yourself. And so, yeah, just enjoy every moment of it.
Penelope?
Yeah, definitely build off the energy of the meet and everybody here. It's always such a fun time. And yeah, mostly just to stay confident in myself and know that I'm capable and, have fun.
Allie.
Probably just that it's another meet. Competing against some really awesome girls, which is great. Competed at some meets this season that had maybe even some higher competition, still pulled out with the win. And so I'm just hoping that I can keep calm, cool, collected, enjoy the positive vibes, and yeah.
Another general question before we open it up. Can you tell the group your favorite moment from this season? Yasmin.
Okay. I think probably my favorite moment was at our outdoor conference meet. I was there with the three other girls on my team, and I think we all had one of the best meets of our lives. And I think even my coach Lane said that that was one of his favorite 2 hours coaching that he's ever had. And I think I really just like loved being with my teammates and loved competing at a high level. I think just like having those teammates with you to like compete and have fun with is the most important thing at the end of the day. So that was definitely my favorite moment.
Nikki?
I think for me it was crossing the line at internationals, and just like right after seeing all my coaches cheering for me, being able to hug everyone, and knowing my parents were there to watch me compete for the first time in the States. So I think that was just a very special moment for me.
Penelope.
Yeah, mine's also from indoor. My birthday was on the first day of indoor nationals, so all of my teammates that came out. It also helped that it was in Rochester, so the majority of my team was there, and they all had a happy birthday chant going in the first couple laps, and it was pretty awesome.
That's cute.
Allie.
Probably, it's tough. I've had a very consistent season, and it's not common for high jumpers to get PR attempts at almost every meet. I've been lucky enough to be able to try to get PR attempts at all but 2 meets this season. So being able to get up to that point where I'm trying to reach a new bar that I haven't done before, I leave the mat a little bit upset every time, but also really grateful that I've gotten that chance, and that's been super special this season, indoor and outdoor.
All right, we will now open it up for questions from the group.
Stu Newstead, D3 Glory Days. Allie, this is for you. Kind of just mentioned consistency. You haven't lost yet this year since you finished 13th last year. What can you say to your consistency that's different from last season that you're using to continue with your success?
Yeah, probably not the answer I was expecting. I quit volleyball this year. Like fall season, that was really huge for me. I loved being a dual sport athlete, and that was huge for me ever since middle school, but it was time to stop. I spent a lot more time in the weight room, and I really bought into track as a whole, and that definitely helped elevate my performance to a level that I never thought was possible. And so just keeping that consistency in the weight room and that buy-in at practice, that's definitely what changed this year, and will keep continuing on for next year.
Noah Dradi, D3 Glory Days. Penelope, thanks for speaking with us earlier this week. Women's distance running in D3 has really been dominated by a clear front runner for the last 4 or 5 years. This year, the field seems more open and more tactically interesting. Being the favorite going in, how are you kind of playing through the tactics in your mind? How do you think the races are going to play out?
I'm kind of mentally preparing myself for anything because I don't want to get complacent. That's something my coach always says, to never get complacent. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to respond to anything that happens and do my best to just solidify my spot and, not be scared about what happens and be able to respond to whatever goes on. Yeah.
Nikki, this question's for you. You haven't competed in the HEP since you broke the record. I guess, how are you feeling? What can we expect this weekend? You had a massive weekend at conference to kind of showcase what you have, but you're also doing a long jump as well. So I guess just overall, how are you feeling since you haven't competed in your event since March?
Excited. I think it's pretty normal for HEPs to just do one earlier in the season to try and qualify and then kind of just keep the competition cadence going, but not necessarily do another one before nationals. So it's not something that I'm worried about. Mostly just excited. Like they said, the weather is not optimal, and obviously the one I did in March was perfect conditions. So I'm just excited to see if I can improve on some things, and yeah, I'm pumped. Just ready to go.
Yeah, so maybe you can kind of speak to this for everybody in some way, but the weather this weekend is looking pretty variable, a lot of rain, could get windy out there. Kind of talk about approaching that mentally as an athlete, just kind of knowing that everybody has to do the same thing, and your process for not getting sidetracked by that.
Yeah. Well, I think that they're going to make a decision about whether pole vault will be indoor or outdoor at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So up until then, I'm just going to be prepared for either way. If it's indoor, it's indoor. There's not going to be any type of weather condition that you need to worry about, and you just got to worry about jumping high. If it is outdoor, you just got to remember that everyone's jumping in the same conditions, and at that point, it just comes down to competing. Like when you got your pull up on the runway, you just need to get down the runway the best you can and make the best jump that you can with the conditions that are there. So just compete.
Any other questions from the group? Thank you for joining us today, ladies. Good luck this weekend. We'll take one more quick break as we bring up our next group of student athletes. Good afternoon. We are back with our final group of student athletes for our opening 2025 NCAA Division III Outdoor Track and Field Championship Press Conference. We will start by introducing our student athletes, allowing them to give an opening statement about their season thus far and how they are feeling heading into competition this weekend. We will follow that up with a Q&A for members of the media. Again, any members of the media asking questions, please state your name and affiliation before asking your question. Also, please keep the scope of the questions focused on this season and the upcoming championship. From left to right, we will start with Dontre Senegal. From McMurray University, Dontre is the top seed in the men's triple jump, seeded second in the long jump, and seeded fourth in the men's 110-meter hurdles. In the middle, Tor Hotang Davidson, a 358 miler from the University of Lynchburg, and the top seed in this year's men's 1500 meters. And finally on the right, from the University of Wisconsin La Crosse, an 11-time NCAA champion in the 60, 100, 200, and 4x100 meters, Sam Blaskowski. Gentlemen, we'll start with an opening statement. Dontre, we'll start with you.
This season's been up and down. I mean, it's had its greats and its bads. Also, in adjusting to what I can do. I mean, there's a bunch of runways that I've competed at this year where they weren't long enough at all. Even my 1576, I didn't have enough runway when I jumped at, and the long jump mark, the 758, also didn't have enough runway. So just adjusting to what I can do, control what I can control, and just have fun at it.
Tor?
It's been a fun season. I don't know. That's kind of it. I mean, it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun with my teammates. Had a lot of cool things happen. Feel like we're making Lynchburg have some aura on the D3 scene. I don't know. We ran some pretty freaky times in that mile too. So I don't know. It's been pretty cool.
Sam?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great season. I mean, some fun eye-opening things going on. I mean, just, yeah, I mean, we're taking advantage of our final collegiate season before we transition in the next part of life. So.
A couple of general questions before we open it up. We asked this of the ladies as well. What have you learned from past championships and past experiences that you will be able to use this weekend?
What I've learned, I mean, anything can happen at the championships. Going back to looking at last year, I was the only cat to run sub 14 in the hurdles coming into the national meet. We get to the national meet, I mean, I back up my time, go 13:86, but yeah, there were some rowing cats that did the same thing, went faster at that. But just be prepared for anything that can happen, and just expect the words, or no, yeah, expect the words, but prepare for the best.
Yeah, I like what Dante's saying. I feel like on the day anybody can win the race, and I mean, learning from past like championships is, I mean, I don't know, you just kind of like go out there and try and win, and I mean, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, but I mean, at the end of the day, as long as you put your best foot forward, if it's written, it's written. If it's not, it's not, and sometimes you just got to move on if it's not your day.
Sam?
Yeah, building off that, like, I mean, competitions, I mean, you can't change it. You know, like, it's all built from the training. I mean, so, I mean, the hard part is the training, and you just got to show up and just be yourself. I mean, you control some things, but you can't control everything, and just show up. You know, that's all it is.
Building off of that, Sam, and we'll start with Sam and then work our way back to Dontre and Tor. What are some of those pre-race routines that have been able to help you get ready to compete? Those things that kind of hallmarks that you just touch on every time.
Music. I mean, it's really about it. Controlling my food, making sure I'm fueled up. I know, like, my freshman year, I didn't fuel my second day of my indoor national meet, and that, I mean, paid off, and I took last. So, yeah, you learn from that, and I just make sure to control, like I said, the controls. And I just love listening to music before my race. It just brings a different part of me out, it feels like, every time. So,
Dontre?
Music. I mean, this may sound like a little selfish or whatever. I like to isolate myself, like, away from my teammates. I mean, they bring a lot of energy towards me and my events and everything, and a lot of support. But my coach told me it's good to be alone sometimes and just clear your head and just focus on what you need to control.
Tor?
I don't really have like a pre-race kind of ritual. I mean, like music's cool. I like that. But like earlier this year, we played like 5 hours of Roblox before a race. So anything really works. Just kind of like hang out and just make sure you're chill about it, and it'll work out.
We'll now open it up to the group. Again, please remember to announce your affiliation before you and your name before your question.
Question for Tour, Evan Gates, Lynchburg Hornet Sports Network. I mean, Lynchburg season has been historic. You see Jason Wright, the 5K national record. You and Sam are the first to break 4 in the outdoor oval. But you guys are still funny. You guys still rely on your teammates. And honestly, you talked about it. It's fresh. It's aura. So what does that really mean to you, going out there with your teammates and just still having fun and still making everything really something new, but still handling business?
Yeah, if it's not fun, it's not worth doing. So that's like the main mantra I got to live by. If I'm not having fun running, I'm not going to be running well.
Stu Newstat, D3 Glory Days. Dontre, this is for you. You just heard Coach Tate say he thinks his guys can go 1, 2, 3. You're the 4th seed. What's the plan to interrupt that sweep?
Just be myself. I mean, they've run some fast times. I mean, the biggest thing for me this year while I was hurdling, I mean, I've always been by myself. It's just me. I have a freshman hurdler, Cam. I mean, we tried to get him here to the national meet. I mean, he fell short. But just controlling what I control, like there's meets where I was the fastest dude there, and no one was nowhere near me. At the conference meet, I think the next time behind me was like 14.9. I went 13.8 that meet. So just controlling my control, and then at this meet, I think the best thing for me, if anything happens, remember it's in God's hands, and then if I just have a clean race, who knows what happens at the finish line.
Noah Drati, D3 Global News. Sam, question for you. This meet has really changed in significance in your career from being a freshman to now. Like freshman year, Nationals was the peak of the peak for you. Now it's kind of a check-in en route to a longer season ending at USA's or potentially beyond. So as the significance of the national meet has changed, how have you adapted your mentality to still show up here and perform at a high level?
Yeah, just taking advantage of like hanging around my teammates, because as soon as nationals over, it's just me, my coach, and whoever I can like beg to come out and run a workout with me, and just taking advantage of being able to like be around my teammates and working out with just an environment, because we got so many people that are just, our team, we got 30 guys going to nationals and 20 women, so it's just there's a lot of people out there that practice every day, and I enjoy this sport a lot and I love it. So like, going another 2 months after today, so I'm just excited. Don't got to work a job. Just got to hang out and run track every day and lift. So, I mean, can't ask for anything better. So.
Dontre, you are one of 12 athletes who are tripling in individual events. How do you go about your weekend knowing you have such a big workload?
Just taking it event by event. Like tomorrow, we have long jump. Take care of that. Only focus on that. Don't worry about anything else for the next few days. Then going on to the Friday, we have hurdles. That's going to be a big one. That's the one I'm looking forward to. Just stay focused. And like I said, if I have a clean race, who knows what happens. And then Saturday, it's triple jump. Super excited for that one as well. Wanting to put something together, see if I can go further. If not, I mean, I want to go. I want to go out there and go win. I came short indoors by an inch, I believe, and I mean, I didn't like Amarion. He's my guy. I didn't like that, so I mean, I'm excited to get after.
Any other questions from the group?
Chasen Hunt, Burger Track Club. This is for Tour. Are there any athletes that have a lot of aura that you can recall?
Yeah, I think there's actually a couple athletes in here that resonate a lot of aura. Can kind of feel it coming off them. These two guys right here, they're up here with me, and my training partners over there, just everybody from Lynchburg has aura. All right, no glaze.
I think that will be our final question. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. Good luck this weekend. This concludes our press conference.
Sorry, guys.
You good?